These comments are in response to the post about Georgia going away from barbers having to be licensed in the state of Georgia. I disagree with the first comment because when you take away something, you often replace it. It's not a free for all. What they did in Georgia was they took away the requirement to get an education in a clinical like classroom setting, and they have an apprenticeship program. So the artistry, all this romantic stuff that you think the industry would be lacking, which I have really bad news for you. The industry doesn't have all this artistry and romance in it in the first place. If it did, there wouldn't be a Sport Clips or a Supercuts or a Great Clips in every major strip mall in every city. And it's because clients don't give a shit about this beautiful craft that has done so much for myself and my business and loved ones that are affected by my economic prowess. But for the most part, nothing would change. It's just the only thing that would change would be how people get into the game. But as I said in my previous video, most establishments are allowing people to cut the line anyway. And again, if you think that this industry is just full of people bustling with this love for the industry, it's a lot of bitter people that are they're just doing a job. They're not. I am extremely happy and proud and thankful that I was blessed with the talent to do this job. I treat it as such. I take it very seriously, but not many people do. And I can assure you that nobody will suffer if they go away from the licensing program and they start to allow apprenticeships. But that's all that means. So there's not doom and gloom. I wish every state did this because I don't think the educational route is necessarily the best way to go about it. I actually think the industry suffers from schools because schools are not putting students on the right path. But I will make a separate video about that specifically. I think I've made a couple about it in the past. Now, my buddy made another comment underneath this asking about how will this, help people prevent outbreaks, basically. And the thing is, I'm a licensed barber. I'm not a dermatologist. I'm not a physician. I am not qualified to diagnose anybody. That is not our job. We are not qualified in medicine to understand exactly what we're looking at. Things materialize differently on different people. That's why doctors have a hard time diagnosing people. And like I've seen hundreds of stories over the years where people kept getting misdiagnosed because things don't present the same way on everyone. There have been several times where I've looked at a person and thought to myself, this motherfucker got ringworm. And it's not. And I'm not qualified to make those calls. I can recognize them. And I don't know what it is in every state, but I know in the state of Texas, we have a right to refuse service to anybody that we deem unsafe for us for whatever reason. So again, nothing would change as far as these 2 points or posts or comments were made. Nothing these comments are talking about would be affected by Texas going away from the licensing program. And in my previous video, I talked about making it a 40-hour long curriculum in an online setting, like just doing an online module that's a 40-hour long course that would, again, be the equivalent of an 8-week program because you're only getting 1 hour of theory every day in barber school anyway for 5 days most of the time. I know some barber schools that only do theory for 4 days out of the week. So again, I don't see the value in keeping the licensing program as it currently is constructed. I believe it's time for a change. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. If you agree with the people that made these posts that I screenshotted, please chime in, let me hear it. Otherwise, if you agree with me, love to hear that too. I am Sean Cuss H on all social media. I stream daily on TikTok, Twitch, Kick, YouTube, sometimes Facebook, but most recently Instagram. Please share this video with anybody that may have an opinion on the topic. And as usual, let all the buttons do all the things. I appreciate your time.